Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at SEI, seeing what's going on. It's looking good and bad. I'll explain what I mean by that here, but we're testing our weekly open, and for the most part, we did kind of drop below this 0.382 fib level, and that kind of implies that we're no longer making higher highs, or sorry, correction, higher lows. Higher highs are obviously not in play as well, so the truth is we want to look at this descending trend, see if it's worth either shorting into or just buying the dip. There's a couple different scenarios there, but we lost our ascending trend line and a few other key factors here we kind of just want to pay attention to. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor, but I just really love teaching people to trade. I really hope you can learn something here today. If you want to learn a lot more, cryptocash.tag is a site link down below. We've got a trading university, academy, same thing, right? And then of course, university signals, and what is it? We got a private Discord too. So a lot of fun stuff here. Quickly to note, just to kind of familiarize you, all four of our shorts we took roughly 2 days ago. I think that was on Wednesday. Have hit. We've hit our second target on ETH, 32%. Third target on ICP, 34%. Matic second target, 30%, and then of course Bitcoin second target, 25%. So awesome stuff there. Be sure to check that out if you're not familiar. Cryptocash.tag is where you can register. We have a few slots left available, just a heads up. We do have a cap now essentially of members. So SEI, what's going on here? Let's talk about the daily first, and just note that this upper level liquidity has pretty much been swept already, so we don't need to focus on that at all. We do potentially have a lower level of liquidity here that could be swept too. So keep in mind there's more further downside potential here. More so in the sense of the fact that we're getting close to 50 on the RSI. We're seeing a stochastic divergence too on the daily, usually giving us a heads up the price is shifting momentum. And then obviously we can see here, money flow index is still quite high. So it's good that there's a lot of money still in this coin, but it's not great that the RSI is dropping, and we see that divergence on stochastic RSI. Truth is, though, we're right here below the 20-day SMA so far, and we can see that 20-day SMA, coincidentally, right there at its average true range, about 72.5 cents. In other words, we see a large amount of volume. The largest profile of volume is right there at 72.5. So if we take all that together, we can kind of understand and summarize that that's the new resistance. So a potential shorting opportunity at 72 cents might be appropriate. Let's see if it even recovers to that level. Again, just outside looking in, that's generally what this daily time frame is telling us. Are you going to take a trade based on one time frame? Definitely not. Okay, just know that's kind of what this is telling us so far. It's not guaranteed. It's not set in stone yet. Okay, it's rarely set in stone actually, but just know the daily time frame is not the only time frame you trade on. We look at the 4 hour here as well and kind of see that we came down to 0.236 fib here for a nice little bounce. We saw this same correlation with Bitcoin and Solana and ICP. They're all double bottoming, so to speak, off this most recent lowest wick. Okay, so you could argue this is a big old double bottom, but it's really not. You could even say it's a double top too, which kind of is. That was somewhat of a play out there, but what we're looking at for here isn't necessarily new patterns, but we're also going to identify where we're at here with other things too, because with RSI getting close to 30, there is a potential bouncing point here soon. Keep in mind, money flow index is coming out. In other words, this is just the last 2 days of trading. Roughly, we can see money has been flowing away from this coin. Most coins are saying the same thing. Bitcoin dominance is staying steady at 0%. Price of Bitcoin is dropping, and altcoin dominance is significantly dropping. So keep in mind, money's coming away from alts going into Bitcoin, keeping that price point at between 40 and 41,000. Having said all that, stochastic RSI is kind of giving us some false positives there. MACD is maxed out for the most part, but it's still plateauing, implying that we may be at our bottom, but I think that's kind of a stretch. So my speculation here is that SEI will continue to drop just based on what I've seen here so far. We've lost this key level on fib, about 69, basically round number 70 cents. So my anticipation is that we'll get a rejection off 79 cents and see the price come down lower. Again, a lot of this hinges on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin flourishes and does very well. We close over 41,600 today for Bitcoin. SEI could very well recover strong. Okay, you got to keep in mind a lot of these come with caveats, but the key takeaway here is that we're below 3 out of the 4 moving averages, and the only supporting factor we have here is the 200 working its way up closer to that, between 58 and 63 cents. So I still don't really see that being a big deal. Keep in mind, previous daily candlestick close about 63 cents. That's a potential support level. So we come back any further for SEI. Take a look at the hourly here. Let's quickly note a couple of things here. We're likely below the cloud. Would be surprised if we weren't. But let's kind of see here as well. Again, most coins are exuding the same behavior here. We get this nice little bounce, so to speak, coming up to this most recent fib and or most recent support level turned resistance. We got the lagging span free and clear. Conversion line below the baseline. There's every reason to not take a long position right now. Okay. We can also see the tail end of the cloud here is basically right there at that 70 cent mark. Okay, reaffirming the fact that 70 cents will be a resistance level for us either now or eventually soon. So two possible scenarios are in play here. The price of Bitcoin continues higher, and we see SEI recover to this level here at about 73 cents. Second scenario, Bitcoin stabilizes and stays right where it's at. SEI kind of does the same thing. Once Bitcoin pulls back, SEI does as well. Okay, those are two possible scenarios. The only other scenario that's potential is for Bitcoin to, slowly make higher highs and higher lows, and for altcoin dominance to essentially increase, and for Bitcoin dominance to not go up. And then what we would see here is the price of this coin coming up, and then it would need to break through this resistance level here at 73 cents to establish a new high and effectively create that as a new low and continue higher. Okay, so that's basically a best case scenario here. Again, the probability of that right now is very low. You got to keep that in mind. So are you going to take a long right now based on a hope and a prayer, or are you going to consider maybe a short position or no position at all? I would lean more so towards no position at all, but if you do end up taking a short, I would say a short between 70 to 73 cents seems appropriate. The short would become invalidated if you get a candlestick closure above 72.5, or just say round number 73. Okay, so the price comes up here, potential invalidation. Keep in mind, we're still below the clouds, so that invalidation would probably come in another couple days. So we're talking like Sunday or Monday, if the price closes at 73 cents or higher, that's a consideration for a long. And again, I want to emphasize this, consideration for a long, not confirmation. Okay, folks? You don't just take confirmation on one time frame. We're going to reevaluate everything else as well and make sure it's worthwhile. So between now and then, what's the best play? My personal opinion is to stay on the sidelines and wait it out. I'm waiting for a daily candlestick closure at 41,500 or lower for Bitcoin to confirm some shorts. If we close above 41.6 today here for Bitcoin, it might be a consideration for waiting a little bit longer. Okay, again, I'm not going to go hard with longs just because it's a dip and you don't just buy dips. You do in your spot bag. That's a different story altogether. I'm adding a lot of money to Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Matic, AVAX, Render. Those are some of my favorite tokens. Same thing with ICP. But again, is SEI one of those coins I'm just going to keep adding to my position and hope for a good long on a high leverage trade? Definitely not. Okay, low leverage, low position size, so that's king. That's how you stay consistent in this market and you have consistent returns. Okay, just some friendly advice. You want that for yourself? Jumping over to our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. I post playout charts for things like this. Looks like we are retesting this 70 cent mark here as we speak, which is awesome. Be sure to check out Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, highly recommended for anyone who has KYC or VPN requirements with their current exchange. Nothing of that sort here. They have excellent rewards. They're the best exchange I've ever used, and coincidentally, they're very new and very customer friendly, if you will. Their customer support's awesome. We got an admin over in our Discord here if you're curious on how to use them. We got some walkthroughs for you. Check that out at your own time. But I do hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take good care.